Well, tonight I want to talk about the work our government is doing to support veterans. It is very important work, and as someone who is privileged to represent a community with many serving personnel at the Simpson Barracks, as well as many veterans, and as someone who comes from a family with veterans, my grandfather served in World War II, my brother served in Afghanistan. This is something I feel on both a community and personal level is so important, and I have a keen interest in ensuring our government does everything we can to support veterans. And I did recently welcome the Minister for Veteran Affairs to Jagajaga to visit with our local veterans and to see the services that we have in and around the Heidelberg repat. And the Minister and I started with a meeting with representatives from all 5 of our local RSLs, and I want to say a huge thank you to all of our local RSLs for the work they do supporting veterans locally and the work they do more broadly in the community. I know the Minister and I both found it very useful to have all of these local RSLs together in the one room to hear about their on-the-ground experiences. So my thanks to Bill Wyndham and Phil Pearce from Watsonia RSL, to Andrew Hall from Montmorency Eltham RSL, to Dal Crocker and Mel Davis from Greensborough RSL, to Lynn Gould and Julie Staples from RSL on Bell in Heidelberg West. As I said, all wonderful people doing great things locally, and to Dino DiMarchi and Flo Jennings from Ivanhoe RSL. Really important to have you all there together for the discussion. This was also a chance for the Minister to tell these people from my local RSLs about some of the work our government is doing to try to better support veterans and their families, starting with the essential work of reducing the backlog of claims that has been sitting with the Department of Veterans Affairs. And since coming to government, I am pleased to say that we've taken this backlog down from 45,000 to 30,000. We've brought on hundreds of additional staff to address the backlog, and we are on track to get through that next year. Beyond that, we have put a number of initiatives in place, like the Skills Recognition Program that translates military training to civilian qualifications, helping ADF personnel have that smoother transition to civilian life, providing coaching, individualising support and improvements around housing and health that will make it easier for veterans to adapt to life beyond their military service. This is so important. And only a week before the Minister and I visited the repat, the Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide was also there. The Royal Commission's work is very serious, and the government is taking it seriously. We have taken action on every recommendation from the interim report. We've been very clear that we know there needs to be cultural change, that veterans and their loved ones, now and into the future, cannot afford for the status quo to continue. We're supporting the Royal Commission as they work through 600 private hearings before the inquiry wraps up mid-next year, including through providing greater flexibility with the use of private sessions. And I do want to draw attention that if you do want to make a submission to the Royal Commission and you haven't yet done so, you have until Friday the 13th of October. The experiences of veterans, your experiences are so important, and I know that those submissions are really helping to inform the work the Commission is doing. Speaker, after we met with our local RSLs, I was pleased to take the Minister on a tour of Ward 17. Ward 17 is Austin Health's dedicated mental health ward for veterans and for others such as first responders. It's famous nationally for the very important work it does for people who need the support there. Speaking to veterans and to advocates, I know that Ward 17 is regarded as an essential asset in how we support veterans at their time of greatest need. And it was important for the Minister and I to get a briefing from Austin staff about the work they do and the model of care they have in place there, and how this links to the other services in our local area as well as services around the country. We also had the opportunity to visit Vasey RSL Care, who have just started construction on their new V Centre project, which will support veterans at risk of homelessness. So we have a precinct here in my local community with a number of services providing vital support to veterans, and I'm really pleased to support all of their work, and I thank them for all of the work that they do locally and for veterans from around our state and around our country. I do also want to highlight one very special man, Robert Winther OAM, who's the Veteran Liaison Officer at Austin Health. Rob is quite simply a legend. He is universally loved. He is unmatched in his dedication to his work supporting veterans. This is his 57th year with Austin Health, a truly amazing contribution. He was very helpful in pulling together the logistics for this Minister visit, but more broadly, he is such a special part of our community. Thank you, Rob, for all you do and continue to do. Speaker, I will continue to stand up to make sure that we are supporting veterans. I know our government will continue to do so.